for the research part, how do you do research if you know nothing about it? Nothing about that. For example, car.
Okay, well, you would get on Google and say, how much is this car worth?
Okay.
What is the blue book value of this vehicle, this business,
Okay.
this item,
Yeah.
this collectible
Yeah,
baseball card?
yeah. And with
Okay.
cars, you can find out if they've been in accidents. You can find out the mileage from the owner. You know, those things go into it too. So
Sure.
it's just like with anything, you have to do the research on it
Right.
before you do it.
But the answer to that, the simple answer to that question is just ask. Just ask. Any of
Okay.
these questions that you ask us, have you noticed every time I tell you? Last time he says, "How do I write a pitch deck?" Now, Cortina, you
Yes.
see me publish how many pitch decks, man? I've done so many of them over the last hour while, just doing different things, showing how it's done, theses, prospectuses, and everything else. And it would be real easy for me to just give him an outline and say, "Here you go, follow that. Here's a template."
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
Man, I'm gonna lead the man
Sure.
to fish. Is what I'm gonna teach the man to fish. That's what I'm going to do. So I said, let me screen share, and this is how you do it when you have a question like this. First of all, always come here and ask like you did. Second of all, you're going to come over here. You're either going to go to Google, or you're going to go to ChatGPT, or you're going to go to something, and you say, how do I do XYZ? And they're going to give you an answer. And in that particular case, I said, look, we're going to go to ChatGPT because this is a writing prompt. You want to write a pitch deck.
Yeah.
You want to figure out how to do that. So I said, can you please write a template for a pitch deck about XYZ? Boom. Title, overview, summary, module 1, 2, 3, 4, step number 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And it has it lined out for him exactly like it needs to be. Now it's up for him to go in there and take that template, take that outline, and fill it in. Just fill it in. Because it just told you what to do. Now you take your knowledge that you're making it on and you fill it in. When you're done, you'll have a completed pitch deck that's in the right format that looks good. You know. So just the simple question of how do I and can you create? Right? I mean,
Yes.
So
that chat GPT, that's really nice. I used that just recently and thought, why have I not used this sooner?
Oh,
I also using it.
Me too. I'm fixing to get ChatGPT.
He told me to use ChatGPT.
Oh, because I actually went to Udemy and took a small little class on it. And then I didn't use it right then. One of my caregivers was asking for a recommendation letter. I was like, oh, great. I hate writing. So I said, hold it. Let me go here. And sure enough, I put in some keywords and whatever, and it wrote it up. And I was like, ooh. But I did put it in my own words because I remember what Chris was saying, because people are starting to recognize the wording, the tone. So, but it gave me enough words to work with. If you give me an outline or something to go from, I can, make it mine.
Of how to do it. Then you can do.
And that's exactly, and I showed him too, how do you take the template and make it yours, right? How do you personalize it, customize the template so it's good? And then even when you get an outline, there's certain things that you can ask it to expand on to give you the chunk. You just don't want to do it all at once. It takes multiple prompts to get where you're going. And that's what I was trying to show him. Just like with me and some of my documents, they have multiple very extensive parts and subcategories that go to some of them. I don't just have ChatGPT write all this stuff. What I do is go in each segment, look at it and say, okay, this is what I need, this is what I don't. And then I'll prompt ChatGPT again and say, hey, give me a segment on this, similar to this, that contains this type of information, right? And then it'll give me something that's more expansive. Can you please expand? And it might give me another page or two on that one little 2 or 3 sentences that I put in there. At that point, you proofread. Well, I copy it and put it into the document and then proofread it, that segment, see if it actually all pertains to what I'm trying to do, make sure that everything that I'm wanting to do is covered, and then move forward. Now, as I go through each segment and they get completed, I'll copy and paste it back to a new ChatGPT and say, can you please read the following proofread, and am I missing anything with this, that, or the other thing? I mean, I'll ask it if there's any vulnerabilities for whatever it is that I'm trying to accomplish. Okay, and it'll read it and say, yes, I would like to suggest XYZ. Or, oh, this is a great thing that you've written here. I think it's very impressive. They'll say some shit like that, and then it'll spit back out. And at that point, you say, okay, it's good, and you finalize your documents once you've done that to every segment, and you proofread it again and make sure that it all aligns with exactly what you're trying to do.